Greetings and welcome to the Witch's Cauldron. My name is Paula. Today's video is on the Sabbat of Beltane. Now, Beltane is celebrated on either April 30th or May 1st in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's celebrated on November 1st. And Beltane is one of the what are called fire festivals. In ancient Celtic times, Beltane signified the beginning of summer. So it's May Day, okay? It's about halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. It was originally most widely observed in Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. This is the celebration that signifies the union of the god and the goddess, okay? The marriage and the union. When you think of May Day, most people think of, okay, a maypole with the ribbons and the dancing around it and everything like that. And the maypole is actually a phallic reference. Beltane is a fertility ritual. It is not only, fertility for a couple in the god and the goddess, but it's also fertility for your animals, fertility for your crops. The very first part of May, you're starting to transplant, your seedlings that you planted at Imbolc, and you're transplanting them. You've gotten your fields ready. You're transplanting things. You also associate bonfires with Beltane, and it was very common for people to dance not only around the maypole, but dance around a bonfire, run over, a burning log, run your, animals through the not a raging bonfire, but have them, like jump over a little burning branch. And that was to, bless them with fertility. And so it's all about fertility and abundance and having an abundant crop and, having your animals thrive so that then you can provide for your family and your animals that you keep through the winter. So when you stop and think about that, this is also a common time for Wiccans to have hand fastings. Now, hand fastings are a type of, I call it marriage with an option to buy. So it's kind of like you commit to each other as a couple for a year. And then at the end of that year, you decide whether or not to make it official and for life, or you make a decision to depart and go your separate ways. So that's the basis of a Wiccan hand fasting. So let's talk about we've gotten a few of the customs that were involved in the maypole and bonfires, but there was also customs to prepare a May basket. And that is where you would go and pick flowers, and then present that basket to someone that you needed healing or caring, like a shut-in friend or someone elderly in your family. It was also very common for women to form a wreath of freshly picked flowers and wear a crown of flowers in their hair. And, that was to just represent joy and beauty. People dress in bright colors on May Day. And then there are a lot of back in the day, the custom was, that a couple may make love in their garden, in their fields on May Eve, which was April 30th, to, you know, wish for abundance in their fields. So you also it was typical of folks to either jump, a burning branch or a candle flame for good luck. And you make a wish as you do it. And the May Day festivities went until dawn. Okay, so it was all night long. And then the merriment stopped when the sun came up and you went back to your normal business. This is also a time where it was very common for people to gather and exchange flowers. They decorated their homes and barns and other buildings with green branches, especially and budding branches, especially hawthorn. And then you also, there was a wine that was made out of sweet woodruff blossoms. And that was called May Bowl or May Punch. It was also a tradition that you would go out at dawn and roll in what is called May Eve dew. Roll in the dew and, rub it over your face and, your body and everything for health, luck, and to, be more beautiful. It was also a time for collecting waters from sacred wells that were used for scrying, etc., or springs, wells, ponds, other waters. The biggest correspondences for it are the May Bride and the May King. And as I said, it's already it is symbolic of the union between the God and the God, between man and woman. So some of the big driving focus for Beltane, and excuse me while I put on my glasses, relate to abundance, creation, fertility, growth, love. It's also a time to, do divination and grow your psychic ability, hone that ability. It's about purification. Like I said, purifying, your animals by having them run over a little burning branch and stuff like that. It was about sexuality. And it was about the union between, male and female. Now, the magical focus of Beltane is, abundance, cooperation, fertility, growth, love, manifesting your desires. And it's about passion. It's also protection, purification, and unions. Okay, so some of the things, as I said, you can do to incorporate some of the older traditions into your modern Beltane practice is to build a sacred fire, to give offerings, hand fastings, protecting your plants, your garden, animals, people, and your possessions. It's a good time to, kind of do the wards and protections of your house and your property. It's a good time for you to go and visit sacred wells or waters. I call it sacred waters. There are a few places around here where I just feel at home, and they're right on the Potomac River. The other ones are, back where I'm from in the mountains. One thing you can do is to walk the boundaries of your property, and that's part of, your protection ritual, walk the perimeter of your property. And then it's also time to work with the Fae or fairies. And I'm going to say, if you haven't watched my 2 videos on the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court of the Fae, I will link them in the description box. The one for the Seelie Court is here on the Witches'Cauldron, and the one on the Unseelie Court is on my paranormal channel, Bull Run Paranormal. What I do, rather than really quote unquote work with the Fae, is to leave offerings to the Fae so that, they stay happy. They help my, gardens and my flowers and everything grow. So it's just not really getting them to do anything for me, but it's, giving them a nice little offering and, keeping them happy, because there is nothing worse than an unhappy or ticked off fairy. So some of the goddesses that are very commonly worked with are goddesses that are affiliated with water and plants or animals. The lover goddess, maiden goddess, and the mother goddess. And specifically, the ones that are typically worked with are Aphrodite, Artemis, Astarte, Danu, Diana, Flora, Freya, Hora, Maya, Prosperina, Rauni, Sarasvati, and Venus. The gods are Apollo, Baldur, Belanos, Cernunnos, the horned god, Odin, Pan, Pluto, Ra, and Wotan. Now, the colors that are affiliated with it are brown. And brown, when you think of, like May Day and stuff, you're like, brown, what the heck? We got to think this is also about the earth and fertility, and to have good soil, then you end up with green things later. So brown as affiliated to animals, to earth energy, family, protection, and your wealth. Green is for abundance, fertility, growth, health, life, prosperity, vegetation, and wealth. Pink for beauty, cooperation, contentment, friendship, love, nurturing, and romance. White for lunar energies, purity, power, and protection. Yellow for communication, dream work, happiness, and solar energies. The herbs that are typically associated with Beltane are lemon for energy, joy, love, prophetic dreams, and purification. Mint, which is about energy, healing, love, prosperity, protection, purification, renewal, and vitality. Mugwort, which is communication with spirits. That's a really good one for that. Divination, fertility, lust, and protection. And sweet woodruff, which is protection, victory, and wealth. The trees that were typically associated with Beltane are the birch for fertility, protection, and purification. The hawthorn for fairy magic, fertility, defensive magic, happiness, luck, and protection. The oak for courage, energy, fertility, luck, magic, protection, security, and strength. Pine for abundance, energy, fertility, prosperity, and purification. And the willow for communication with spirits, healing, love, lunar energy, prophetic dreams, and protection. The flowers that are affiliated with Beltane are daisies for attraction, elf and fairy magic, love, and youth. Ivy for divination, friendship, love, luck, marriage, rebirth, and security. Lily of the Valley for desire, healing, love, peace, and protection. Roses, which are blessings, clairvoyance, friendship, love, and protection. And violets for calming, fertility, love, protection, and prophetic dreams. The crystals and stones affiliated with Beltane are bloodstone for abundance, courage, healing, love, passion, and wealth. The emerald, which is love, luck, prosperity, protection, and wealth. And emeralds are particularly good for like protection from evil spirits and negative energies. Rose quartz, which is for friendship, love, nurturing, and union. And love, not only, love between two people, but also learning to love yourself. The metals that are affiliated with Beltane are copper for energy, love, prosperity, and well-being. Gold, which is health, love, magic, protection, strength, solar energy, success, and wealth. And silver, which is love, lunar energies, magic, prophetic dreams, and psychic ability. The animals and totems that are affiliated with Beltane are bees for energy, karma, romance, and prosperity. The cow for abundance, fertility, nurturing, and wealth. The dove for fertility, happiness, life, peace, and rebirth. The frog for abundance, new beginnings, fertility, luck, and transformation. And the rabbit for abundance, fertility, intuition, and love. Now, oils and incense that are really tied to, either for potpourri, incense, anointing oils, or just kind of hanging around, are frankincense, jasmine, lemon, mint, pine, rose, woodruff, and ylang ylang. The tarot cards that are affiliated with Beltane are the Emperor, the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Magician. And typical symbols are flowers, which represent fertility, love, and joy. The maypole, which is fertility and the male phallus. And priapic wands, which are pinecone tipped wands that symbolize fertility and sexuality. Foods are honey and light cakes, so making like a honey cake. Drinks are like lemonades or a May wine that are made like with white wine, lemon slices, and woodruff, sweet woodruff. Beltane also is a time for acts of service. Okay, so this is like helping a neighbor, beautifying their surroundings, planting a tree, rehabilitating, or cleaning up the banks of a stream, removing litter from an outdoor space, and working on a community garden. And it's really, it is a time also to kind of reflect and kind of do a little bit of a check-in from your goals. Okay, it's like, what do I want to get accomplished over these coming summer months? Okay, and to take a look at, you know, the resolutions you made at the new year, and kind of do a check-in and see, you know, exactly where you are. Are you where you want to be? So remember that this festival was really particularly important to the pagans, because it was about fertility, protecting your crops, protecting your animals, protecting your home, asking for abundance, asking for abundant crops, having your animals be healthy, having enough to feed your animals, getting animals to the winter. So, you know, you slaughter some and then you keep some through the winter, and having enough to keep them and your family fed and well cared for through the coming winter months. These were literally festivals of life and death. Okay, remember that. So with that, my friends, I hope you have a better understanding about Beltane and its traditional celebrations, how it came about, and some of the things, the affiliations and correspondences with it, and some of the things that you can do in service during the modern day world to help celebrate Beltane and the spirit of the festival. So with that, my friends, be sure to subscribe before you leave the channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you like the video. And until we meet again, merry we did meet, merry we will part. Until we merry meet again, be well and walk in love and light, everybody. Bye.